When you think of Michael Jordan, what do you think of? You probably think of his iconic Game 6 game winner against the Utah Jazz to seal his second three-peat. You probably think of the free throw line dunk. You probably think of his slam dunk contest championships. You probably think of his 69 points against Cleveland and his numerous battles against the bad boy Pistons. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Michael Jordan's best regular season games, but with a little twist. We're going to be talking about his best games in each of his signature shoes, Jordan's 1 through 13. I'm not going to be talking about the Wizards because, let's face it, although Jordan had some good games on the Wizards, he was clearly past his prime. And before we get into the video, let me just emphasize that these are all my opinions and that they don't necessarily mean that they are the completely best game that he played. And let me also emphasize that these are regular season matchups and not playoff matchups. But with all that being said, let's get into the list. Let's start off in the 1984-85 season, Jordan's rookie season where he averaged 28.2 points per game and also won the Rookie of the Year award. And let me give you some context before we get into the stat line. Before this game, Jordan was selected to the All-Star game, and while he played in the All-Star game, he didn't necessarily put up the best performance, mainly because the veterans decided to freeze him out because he was a rookie, in particular Isaiah Thomas. Jordan was definitely out to prove something that game, and he was definitely playing with a chip on his shoulder, and it really showed in the stat line. He put up 49 points, had 15 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals, all on an efficient 61.3% from the field. In fact, he scored so much that game that he put up 35.3% of his team's points. On the season, Jordan put up 28.2 points, grabbed 6.5 rebounds, had 5.9 assists, and averaged 2.4 steals. Coming into Jordan's sophomore season, he actually opted to stay in the Jordan 1, unlike most NBA superstars these days who actually get a new signature model each year. It was also a very different season for Jordan because he suffered a foot injury early in the season that limited him to just 18 games. However, he did have a significant performance on October 26, 1985 against the Detroit Pistons. In this game, Jordan stuffed the stat sheet, putting up 33 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks in an all-around great performance. This season, Jordan averaged 22.7 points, 3.6 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 2.1 steals, and 1.2 blocks while helping the Bulls creep into the playoffs at the end of the season, where he put up an iconic 63 points against the Boston Celtics. Jordan's third year in the league saw him switch to the Jordan 2, which, although is a less iconic Jordan model, still has its fair share of great colorways, such as the Just Dawn series, the Eminem collaboration, and my personal favorite, the Carmelo Anthony player editions. It was also this season that I think Jordan established himself as the best scorer in the league, putting up 37.1 points, 5.2 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 2.9 steals, and 1.5 blocks per game. And along with this, on February 26, 1987, against the New Jersey Nets, Jordan put up an absurd 58 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks on 64% shooting from the field, 25 of 26 from the line, and he also put up a game score of 51.2, which is 15th all time. He scored 45.3% of his team's points that game. Jordan's fourth year in the league saw him don one of the most iconic Jordans, if not the most iconic Jordan of all time, with the Air Jordan 3. We all know it, we all love it, the black cements, the white cements, they're just a classic pair of shoes. It was also this season where Jordan established himself as the best defender in the league while also putting up elite numbers, putting up 35 points, 5.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists to go along with 3.2 steals and 1.6 blocks per game. And Jordan's defensive prowess was definitely shown on April 3rd, 1988 against none other than the bad boy Pistons, where he put up 59 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists to go along with 2 steals and 2 blocks. He also made 77.8% of his field goals, put up 17 of 19 from the free throw line, scored 52.6% of his points, and put up a game score of 54.7, which ranks 5th all time. The 1988-89 season also saw Jordan put on one of the most iconic Jordans of all time, the Air Jordan 4. We all love them, the white cements, the breads, the cool grays, they're just a clean pair of shoes. And on January 15th, 1989, against the Boston Celtics, Jordan turned in one of his most all-around lines of all time, putting up 42 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists, and 8 steals, almost securing a quadruple-double. It's worth noting that during this season, Jordan played point guard and averaged a career high in assists and also a career high in rebounds. He had a streak of 7 straight triple-doubles and also had 10 in 11 games. Jordan also shot 56.5% from the field that game and was 16 of 17 from the free throw line. The Jordan 5s debuted in the 1989-90 season with their fair share of iconic colorways such as the Fire Reds, the Grapes, and the Laneys. This would also be the season where Jordan would put up his career high against the Cleveland Cavaliers on March 28, 1990. He put up 69 points, grabbed an absurd 18 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and 1 block, all on 62.2% from the field and 21 of 23 from the free throw line. His game score of 64.6 was also the highest of all time, and he scored 58.9% of his team's points. Jordan put up 33.6 points, 6.9 rebounds, 6.3 assists, and 2.8 steals that season. The 1990-91 season saw Jordan win his first championship and also don the Jordan 6, which has its iconic colorways such as the white and black infrareds, as well as the maroon 6s. And on December 27, 1990, against the Golden State Warriors, although he didn't put up the most absurd point total, he put up 42 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block, completely stuffing the stat sheet on 68% from the field. Jordan put up 31.5 points, 5.5 assists, 6 rebounds, and 2.7 steals on his way to his first championship. The 1991-92 season featured Jordan lacing up the Jordan 7s, which featured colorways such as the Jordan 7 Raptor, the Bordeaux 7s, as well as the Olympic 7s, which he wore with the Dream Team that year. His best game that season was on March 19, 1992 against the Washington Bullets, where he put up 51 points, grabbed 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, all along with 0 turnovers on a 63.3% clip. He scored 48.1 of his team's points and won his second championship that season. Jordan put up 30.1 points, 6.4 rebounds, 6.1 assists, and 2.3 steals that year. The 1992-93 season saw Jordan complete his first three-peat while rocking the Jordan 8s, one of my favorite Jordans, and one of the most iconic Jordans with the Aqua 8s. His best game once again came against the Washington Bullets on December 23, 1992, when he put up 57 points, 2 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block on an efficient 59.5% from the field and 6 of 8 from the three-point line. He scored 53.2% of his team's points. Jordan averaged 32.6 points that season, along with 6.7 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and 2.8 steals. The 1993-94 season was an exception. Jordan had retired that season and decided to pursue baseball, but the Jordan 9 came out. While not my favorite Jordan, I can see the appeal and why some people like it. Jordan returned in the 1994-95 season, albeit for only 17 games. He rocked the Air Jordan 10, which features colorways such as the Chicagos, the Powder Blues, and the OVOs. Jordan put up one of the most iconic performances of his career on March 28, 1995 against the New York Knicks. In this game, there was a lot of talk that Jordan had kind of fallen off, had lost his touch, and that he wasn't the best in the league anymore, but this game proved otherwise. Jordan put up 55 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal on an efficient 56.8% from the field, 10 of 11 from the free throw line, had the game-winning assists, and scored 48.6% of his team's points, while proving all the doubters wrong that he was still the best in the world. Jordan put up 26.9 points, 6.9 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 1.8 steals that season. And before we get into this next Jordan shoe and Jordan performance, let me know in the comments below what your favorite Jordan is, and let me know if you're rocking with the video. But with all that being said, let's get into the next shoe. Moving on, the 1995-96 season was Jordan's most iconic season, the 72-10 season, which also featured what is arguably Jordan's most legendary shoe, the Jordan 11s. I mean, the patent leather upper, legendary. The colorways, the Breads, the Cool Grays, the Space Jams, the Concords, legendary. And to top it all off, Jordan won his 4th championship this season and started the path to his second three-peat. Jordan's best game that season came on March 7, 1996 against none other than the Detroit Pistons, his former rivals. He put up 53 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 6 steals on an efficient 75% from the field, 9 of 10 from the free throw line, and scored 51.9% of his team's points. Jordan put up 30.4 points, 6.6 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and 2.2 steals that season. The Jordan 12 is one of many people's favorite Jordans because of the colorways such as the Taxi 12s and the Flu Games, and Jordan laced these up in the 1996-97 season. Jordan also put up an outstanding performance on January 21st, 1997 against the New York Knicks, and before this game, Jeff Van Gundy claimed that Jordan would con opponents by quote-unquote befriending them before games and then taking their souls later in games. Jordan definitely did not like this notion, and he definitely showed it on the court when he put up 51 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals on an efficient 60% from the field, 10 of 11 from the free throw line, and 5 of 8 from the three-point line. Jordan definitely got the last laugh that season, putting up 29.6 points, 5.9 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and 1.7 steals en route to his 5th championship. And finally, we have made it to the final season of Jordan's career as a Chicago Bull, the 1997-98 season, where he laced up the Jordan 13s. And in this season, Jordan put up a great performance against the Atlanta Hawks on December 27, 1997, when he put up 47 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals, along with 1 block, 69.2% from the field, and 11 of 13 from the free throw line. He also scored 48.4% of his team's points, and in his final season as a Bull, put up 28.7 points, 5.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 1.7 steals on the season. However, the 13s weren't the last shoes that Jordan laced up that season. In fact, they were the Jordan 14s, which he laced up in Game 6 on June 14, 1998 against the Utah Jazz, his final game as a Chicago Bull, where he put up 45 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 4 steals, and he also had the game-winning steal on Karl Malone and the iconic game-winning shot on Brian Russell. And with that shot, Jordan sealed his second three-peat and 6th championship of that decade, cementing himself as the greatest player of all time. But with all that being said, thank you very much for watching the video, especially if you stayed until the end and watched all what is probably 13 minutes of this video. Thank you very much, I appreciate the support. Comment down below what your favorite Jordans are, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. Can we get to 200 subscribers by the end of the year? I think so. But with all that being said, have a good day or night, wherever you are.